DanielMWegner, The Mind Club, Who Thinks, What Feels, and Why It Matters. Welcome to the fascinating world of minds. The Mind Club, Who Thinks, What Feels, and Why It Matters, by DanielMWegner, will guide you on an exploration of the concept of the Mind Club, the exclusive group of beings that possess minds. You'll learn about how we attribute minds to certain beings based on their agency and experience. Peek into the inner workings of moral agent and moral patient relationships and delve into the dark path of dehumanization. Uncover the secrets of cryptominds and how our perception defines their existence. Brace yourself for a life-changing journey that will make you question your understanding of minds and alter the way you see the world around you.
The Mind Club. The Mind Club is a group of creatures that possess mental characteristics such as agency and the ability to experience emotions. The Mind Club consists of beings like humans, animals, and even robots. The book's authors conducted studies that revealed that people generally attribute a mind to beings with these traits. Once in the Mind Club, individuals can be characterized based on the relative strength of their agency and experience. For instance, CEOs are considered to be thinking doers given their ability to plan and take action. On the other hand, babies are vulnerable feelers because they primarily feel and experience but lack effective action. However, these types of characterizations are not fixed, and an individual's position in the Mind Club can change based on their circumstances. Dyadic completion and the nature of morality. The concept of dyadic completion explains that moral acts involve a moral agent and a moral patient. A person who engages in an action is a moral agent, and the person who receives the action is a moral patient. How we judge moral acts depends on a person's perceived mind and ability to act deliberately. We tend to view vulnerable people, like babies, as moral patients with moral rights to not be hurt, rather than moral agents with moral responsibilities. Dehumanization, the psychology behind cruelty. Have you ever wondered why soldiers who appear kind in their hometown turn into cruel beings overseas? The answer lies in dehumanization, a psychological phenomenon that justifies the mistreatment of others by denying their minds. This numbs moral agents to the pain they inflict on others. Dehumanization happens through two modes, animalization and mechanization, where the former convinces one that another is not an agent but a feeler while the latter denies the other person's feelings and sees them as a thinking doer. In animalization, the colonial era perceived Africans as savages and treated them like pets. In contrast, in mechanization, the Japanese were depicted as evil ruthless machines during World War II. By understanding dehumanization, we can accurately identify its prevalence and prevent such behaviors. The power of perception. Humans have a natural tendency to assume intentionality in the actions of others. This compulsion to see minds everywhere is a survival mechanism that helps us identify and avoid potential threats. However, it can also lead to paranoid delusions. The existence of minds that can only be perceived by some and not others raises questions about morality and our understanding of reality. The Kenneth Parks case illustrates the importance of recognizing unusual circumstances and considering them before making judgments about intentionality. The Mind Club, who has one? The Mind Club is a classification of beings with minds, but there's a disputed division of what constitutes a mind. This includes beings like animals and robots, as well as God and deceased individuals in persistent vegetative states. The group of cryptominds is divided into thinking doers and extreme vulnerable feelers. According to the British mathematician, Alan Turing's Turing test, something has a mind if we perceive it as having one. However, perception varies from one individual to the next, making the mind a subjective concept. Thus, the only mind that is real to you is your own, and the Mind Club is an exclusive one.
In The Mind Club, DanielMWegner takes you on an insightful exploration of the minds that populate our world. We have learned that when beings possess agency and experience, we attribute a mind to them, categorizing them into thinking doers or vulnerable feelers. We've examined the dyadic completion of moral relationships and how our perception of minds affect our judgments of beings, as moral agents or patients. Wegner also illuminates the phenomenon of dehumanization, with its two forms of animalization and mechanization, as well as how our instincts to find intentional minds ensure our survival. Finally, we've delved into the perplexing existence of cryptominds, acknowledging that our perception fundamentally determines their reality. At the end of this journey, we're left with a new appreciation for and understanding of the mysterious realm of minds.